How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Lamed Gimel, I think. Anybody have any objections to Lamed Gimel? Daf Lamed Gimel of Masechta BavaBasra, friends. Whatever, Lamed Gimel is a great daf. It's kind of funny. I think I'm basically going to stop at the very end of Lamed Gimel with Beis, just because then it starts into this whole new flow, which Lamed Daled is Lamed Daled, Amud Aleph, and Amud Beis together is 20 lines. So I think I might just do all of it kind of tomorrow. Lamed Hey is also a tiny daf. So yeah, there's a 2 dots at the top of Lamed Gimel Amud Beis. I think I'm probably just going to stop there. Yeah. So anyway, it's these dafs, they're so funny because they're so small, because there's so much Rashbam. So that's just so small. It's kind of hard to find a good place to stop on the daf that is it's funny. The difference between the top of the daf and the bottom of the daf is 5 lines. So if there's no good place to stop on the last, at the bottom of the daf, then you're stopping at the top of the. It's so funny. Okay, so it's find a good place to stop. Anyways, okay, we're going to start on daf Amud Beis. We got about 10-15 lines to do there. Here we go. Shimon lent $100 to Reuven, okay? And the deal was that if Reuven defaults, so then Levi's gonna guarantee it. Levi's gonna pay Shimon, and that's what happened. Okay, Reuven defaulted, so Levi paid the loan to Shimon on Reuven's behalf. And now, obviously, Levi now Levi needs to collect it from Reuven. So what happened was, Shimon lent $100 to Reuven. Levi's the guarantor. Levi ends up paying Shimon, and Shimon then gives Levi the document so that Levi can then use this document to collect from Reuven, right? Because when Shimon lent $100 to Reuven, Reuven wrote Shimon a document that says, I owe you $100, okay? When Levi paid back Shimon, so Shimon gave a document to Levi. And now Levi has a document that says that Reuven owes him $100. So, meaning that Reuven owes $100, but he was the guarantor and he can collect with it. So now, there was a guarantor. Now he says to Reuven, no, Havli me'ezuze de paraiti lemalve ilavach. No, Reuven, would you pay me the $100 that I paid to Shimon on your behalf because you defaulted on the loan? V'hashtar, and here's the document. Okay, here's the document that says that I'm owed this money. Omar lei lab paraitich. So Reuven says to Levi, didn't I already pay you back? Omar lei, I think the word lei is added. Yeah, Omar lei. So Levi says to Reuven, lab hodart shakaltinu minoi. But after you paid me, didn't you then take the money back? So you still owe it to me? So Sholcha Rav Idi bar Ovin the comment Abaye. So Rav Idi bar Ovin sends to Abaye, Ke'agav namai, what's the halacha here? Can Shimon collect with this? Can Levi collect with this document from Reuven? Shalach le'Abaye. So Abaye sends back to Rav Idi bar Ovin. Now, friends, if you remember at the very end, if you remember yesterday at the end of the daf, we had a machlokes Rav and Rav Yosef about, do we say malo l'shaker, and therefore the document is a good document? Do we say like Rav Yosef that it's just chaspa ba'alma, you can't trust the document? So Rav Idi bar Ovin had said yesterday at the end of the daf, mamash right before the Gemara that we're doing now, that by karke we paskin like Rav Yosef, I think. By karka, we said that by karka that we keep by the karka we keep the property where it is with Reuven, so we don't trust the document. So it's like Rav Yosef, right? And by money we paskin fakert. Wait, what? No, fakert. That by karka. What was the case of karka? By karka, we would say basically that Reuven, in both cases, Reuven keeps it, right? right? Reuven keeps the karka and Reuven keeps the money. So Reuven keeps the karka because we pass like Rav Yosef that because that was Malal. I'm so confused. I confused myself because I forgot what it's talking about. What do we say? Kirabba ba'ara. Because what did Rabba say? Malal l'shaker. What was it? Because in that case, okay, fine. Yeah, because in the case of the karka, Reuven said, I bought it from you and I have a document. So, and Rabbi says, Malal l'shaker. So we trust him by the karka because we're keeping the karka where it is. And we pass him like Rav Yosef when it came to the money, right, that we don't trust Shimon's document to collect from Reuven because we keep the money where it is. So, therefore, so Abaye says, so now we have this case where Levi has this document that he wants to use to pay from Reuven. And so Rav Baravin's asking Abaye. Abaye says, well, don't we paskin like Rabbah of Malo the Shaker? No, by money. This is money, right? Why did I confuse myself? What are we talking about? Money? Yeah, we're talking about money. Passing like Rav Yosef that we don't trust the document, and therefore we would keep the money with Reuven. Wow. I managed to confuse myself there. Okay. Anyways, so Shach Ravidi Barovin the Kamid Abai. So Ravidi Barovin asked Abai, what do we do in this case where Levi has this document, but Reuven says, I paid you back. Levi says, yeah, but then you took it back. What's going on? So Ki I gav no mai. What's halacha shalach le Abai? So Abai says to Ravidi Barov, Mighty boyle. What's the kasha? You the Amar. Rabbi Baravin, aren't you the one who said that the halacha is like Rabbi when it comes to property, but the halacha is like Rav Yosef when it comes to money, and this is money, and therefore the document is irrelevant. Chasba ba'alma, and therefore Reuven holds, keeps his money. That the money stays where it is. Now, when we say this, which is, so Levi has this document, he wants to use it to collect from Reuven. And Reuven says, didn't I pay you back? Levi says, yeah, but then you took it back again. So we say, keep the money where it is when Reuven took the money back because he reborrowed the money from Levi. Okay? Meaning again, that if Reuven says, didn't I already pay you back? And Levi says, yeah, but then you borrowed the money from me, we say keep the money where it is. Aval Amrle, but if Levi says to Reuven, well, you paid me back with completely unusable money. I gave it back to you because the coins that you gave me were all rubbed out, or they're all like rusty and corroded. Well, then Akati Isa the Shibuda the Shtar. Well, if that's the case, if Levi says, I gave you back the money because who would accept this? I can't spend this money, whereas it's rubbed out, it's worn out, it's rusty, whatever it is, corroded. So in that case, then Levi was just posh, it never paid back, and the shtar is as effective as ever, and he would be able to collect from Reuven with it. Ravi bar Sharshim nafak ole kalo. So Rav bar Sharshim, rumors, rumors, the Yentis in the Bungle colony on Shabbos afternoon with the Diet Coke and the low-fat malto bread before the Shmir Saloshin Shir. So they were talking and they were saying that I guess it has to be before the Shmir Saloshin Shir, because after the Shmir Saloshin Shir, how could you can't Lashon Hara. So Rav bar Shashim nafakole kala. So the Yentis in the Bungle colony on Shabbos afternoon, they were discussing that Rav bar Shashim the ka'achil ara de yasme. He's consuming the land of orphans. It's not a good thing for the Yentis to be thinking about you. So Amalei Abaye. So Abaye says to Rav bar Shashim, Emily easy gufa duv de echiaba. No, tell me what's going on. Why are the Yentis saying that you're consuming the property of orphans? No, tell me. So Amalei, so Rav bar Shashim says, I'll tell you. Ara b'mashkunto havo nokitno me'avun diyasme. Look. I had lent their father money, and their father gave me a property as a collateral. Rashbam says it's mashkanta desur, mashkanta desur, right? Mashkanta desura. Mashkanta desura was that basically Shimon lends Reuven money. Reuven gives Shimon a property for a certain amount of time. Shimon uses that property during that time. When that time period is over, they're even. They're even. Reuven gets back his field. He doesn't need to pay anything to Shimon. They're even at that point. So Rav Bar Shashim says, look, I'm going to read that again. Look, I had lent money to their late father, and this property was a mashkanta, and I was using the property, and the time was okay. Let's go weiter for a second. And I had also lent their father more money without a mashkanta. In terms of the mashkanta, in terms of this property that I received in return for the loan, that was up, right? The agreement was, you can have the property for 5 years, then it goes back to the borrower, who had since passed away, would go to the orphans. But Amina, I figured, look, but what about this other loan? How am I going to get paid back for this other loan, which I didn't have mashkanta for? So Rava Bar Shashim says, I figured, if I give the property back to the orphans like I'm supposed to, where am I? So and then I say, okay, here's your field, you can take it back. By the way, orphans, you owe me your father. I had lent your father more money. Well, so we have another loan that needs to be settled. But if somebody wants to get paid back from the estate, right, from the orphans, he has to swear. And Rashbam points out, I'm reading from like the middle of the Rashbam, he would dafka swear. One second, where am I? Anyway, you b'nei mebed mitzvah da'anu b'mizvah chayv mitzvah shtoydina ba'adayu al shtar chov choshesh. So basically, he wouldn't be getting paid back until these orphans, who we assume are ketanim, get older. So basically, this was a headache. Okay, yes, the mashkanta was up, time to give back the land, but he was owed more money. Right, so again, so he says, if I want to get paid back from the Yisomim, I'm going to have to swear. And that's going to have to wait until they get older, until they're adults. So I figure, you know what I'll do? I'm just going to kind of like hide the document of the mashkanta that says that, that had the details of when the mashkanta ends. And you know what? I'll just sort of, on my own, kind of extend the mashkanta until I've consumed, gotten enough benefit to account for the additional loan that I had lent their father. And then I'll give it back, and then I don't have to deal with the shvua and the second claim. Because I figured, look, I'd already had this property, as Rashi, I think, had pointed out on the, not Rashi, Rashbam. The Rashbam at the very bottom of Lamed Beis says, and already when their father was still alive, I already had eaten it. I'd been there for 3 years already. I already had a chazakah. And therefore, I could have already said, I already have this chazakah. I could have said that I bought it from their father. And then I would have been believed, because I would have said, right, it's a taina with a chazakah. So I would have been believed. So ki'amina de isli zuzeg abaychu me'emnina. So I figured that the same would be true as well. Wait, what? I have no clue what I just said. But I figured that, just like I could just say that the property is mine, because I bought it and I have a chazaka on it. So I figured I could also sort of just extend, I'd be believed to just extend my mashkanta as well. So Abaye says to Rav Bar Sharshim, Lekucha biyodi lo motzis Omar. Abaye points out that, your whole logic was based on the assumption that, well, I could just claim that I own it. So certainly I could claim that you own it, but I have it still as a mashkanta. But Abaye says the whole premise, which is that you could have argued that you own it, is false. You couldn't argue that you own it. Because there are rumors. Have you ever heard of the Yentis in the bungalow colony on Shabbos afternoon? That's a big problem. They're talking. And there's rumors that this property is not yours. It belongs to these orphans. And therefore, because there are these rumors, the chazaka doesn't work. And you have to hold on to the shtar to prove that it's yours. And obviously you don't have a shtar because you never bought it. So Elazil, Ahadroni Alayu, rather, sorry, Rav Bar Sharshim, I believe that that you lent this additional loan to their father, but, you have to do it the regular way. Give back the property. Give back the mashkanta whose time is up. Give it back to the Yisomim. And, you have to just do it the regular way. When they get older, you'll take them to court. And at that point, you'll be able to reclaim the loan. Kreve de Rav Idi bar Ovin Shochiv. Rav Idi bar Ovin's relative passed away. V'shavak dikla. And he left a palm tree. Gewaldig. A palm tree. You could have dates. Geschmack. So Rav Idi bar Ovin's relative passed away and left a palm tree. Rav Idi bar Ovin Omar Ono Krivna Tvei. Rav Idi bar Ovin said, well, I am the closest relative. I get the palm tree. V'ahu Gavra Omar Ono Karivna Tvei. But there was another fellow who said, no, I am the closer relative. And therefore I get the palm tree. And it sounds like, and then I think he just kind of did that. Right? Because as we're going to learn on Daf Lamed Daled, that Rav Nachman's opinion is called the Olam Gvar. Whoever sort of is stronger than the other one, they fight it out, and whoever takes it gets it. I mean, how are you going to prove it other way? Rav Idi bar Ovin saying, I'm the closer relative. This other guy saying, I'm the closer relative. You're basically stuck. So then this other guy went and just ate, claimed the tree and started eating from it. And so the Sofa Odule the EU carved Tvei. In the end, the other guy admitted that he's a liar and that really Rav Idi bar Ovin is the closer relative. Ukma Rav Chizda biyode. So at that point, Rav Chizda says he awarded the palm tree to Rav Idi bar Ovin. He's the closest relative. Omle the Hadrli Peri the Ochol Meu Yom Ad Hashta, and Rav Idi bar Ovin was then not satisfied by merely getting the palm tree from now and on. He wanted a restitution for all of the fruits that had been eaten from the time that the Shmendrik claimed to be the closer relative until now. He wants that value. Omar, and Rav Chizda responds to Rav Idi bar Ovin, Zeu she'omim olav adam gadol hu. Interesting. I think that Rav Idi bar Ovin, wasn't he the Arisha Bachabura? Was he the lion in the group? Anyways, so Rav Chizda says to Rav Idi bar Ovin, you're the one, Zeu, you're the one, Shom Olav, that they say about him, Adam Gadol, that he's such a great, that he's so great. Aman kosamich mar. Ahai. Why, no, Rav Idi bar Ovin, why are you coming now and assuming that it's your palm tree? Well, because the Shmendrik now admitted that he's not the closer relative, you're the closer relative. So that's why now all of a sudden you're saying the palm tree is now mine. But up until now he's been saying that he was the closer relative. And therefore up until now, the scenario was Ravidi Baravin was saying, I'm the closer relative. The Shmendrik was saying he's the closer relative. Rav Nachman Paskin's not here, but I guess in tomorrow's daf. So Rav Nachman Paskin's that in such a case you say called the Olam Gvar. Whoever is stronger gets it. So up until now, he was eating the fruits. But at this point, he said, you know what, Ravidi Baravin is the closer relative. So from this point on, you can get the fruits, but not up until now. Abai v'Rava lo svira lu ad Rav Chizda, but Abai and Rava don't agree with Rav Chizda's interpretation. Came into Odi because they say, look, once the Shmendrik admits that he's not the closer relative, then that means he was never the closer relative, which means that the whole time he was eating the fruits, he was eating, he wasn't allowed to eat the fruits, so Ravidi Baravin does have a valid claim. Alright? I'm going to stop here. Because once you get started, it's like a whole flow then. I'm going to stop here. We're going to start with this tomorrow. So, alright, more claims about chazakas and stuff on Daf Lamed Gimel of Masechta BavaBasra. Peace out.